this is Tamara Reeves, and welcome to the Rise of Black Wealth. The intent of this program is to showcase Black business owners, Black entrepreneurs, Black managers and supervisors. We want to just showcase the talent that we have in our community, and not just locally, but around the country and eventually around the world. Okay, because we just want to know and showcase the fact that we're out here, we're working hard, and we have lessons that we've learned, lessons that we want to share with those who have goals and aspirations of becoming business owners and key leaders in the community as well. So I'm just excited to be here. This is episode 1, and I am blessed to have Miss Lezlie Walton of Michigan here with us. She is the owner and founder of A Touch of Gold Therapeutics, LLC. So let's welcome Lezlie. Lezlie, how are you today?
I am awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Tamara.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for doing this. I'm so excited about this new channel because we have so much to share. I've had so many questions come to me, regarding ownership and entrepreneurship, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Lezlie?
Okay. Well, I grew up in Belleville, Michigan. I've always lived in Michigan. I bounced around from Belleville to Ypsilanti a little bit, and I reside in Westland at the moment, and that's where my business is located.
Awesome, awesome. And tell us about your family.
Oh, I have a great family. I'm a family with the Waltons and the Callaways, and they all reside in Belleville and sprinkled around in Michigan as well. Great upbringing, mother and father still out in Belleville, still together. My brother and sister and all my niece and nephews live out here with me. So I got a kind of a tight-knit family. I just love it. I love it. I wouldn't be anywhere without the upbringing that I had, first of all. That's the first foundation ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lezlie, take us on this journey toward entrepreneurship. First of all, tell us what type of business you're into. What do you do?
Okay. I have always loved the healthcare industry. And as long as I'm touching people and helping people, making people feel better, if it's just for a few minutes, for a lifetime, I've worked in all different aspects of healthcare. But I think God finally led me to my niche, and I am a massage therapist, a licensed massage therapist. And that is my business, A Touch of Gold Therapeutics, meaning everything therapeutic. At the moment, we offer massage only, but as my business grows, I plan on getting body treatments, facials, foot detoxes, wraps, scrubs, all types of things, anything wellness I want that to be involved in my business. So I just love to touch people. Just that human touch that's something else. That's something that you can't get in a bottle. And that's what I'm trying to get people away from, to stop all the drugs. It just takes people over. You might start it for one reason, but it can end up ruining your life after a while, So an hour massage can make you feel a lot better than one pill that you're taking, and it'll actually fix the problem, instead of just going to sleep and waking up with the same issue again.
Very right. That's so true.
It's just about healthcare, making people better.
Very, very good. When did you know that you wanted to go into business for yourself? I mean, we're going through elementary, middle school, high school, things like that. How did you know that you wanted to do something different with your life?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you that probably happened around 2013. It was nothing that I ever set out to do when I was young. I wasn't the one out there with the little lemonade stand and like, I'm gonna have my own business one day. I was always cool with the employer mindset, but I always just tried to excel at whatever job I had, So I'm gonna tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
About 2013, it was my first job for massage right out of school, So I was working at a spa in Farmington, and the owner, I think she was trying to give me some incentive and show me and pat me on my back on how well I was doing, But she brought out this printout of all the numbers and everything that we've done, and I hadn't worked for her for, I don't even think it was 6 or 7 months at this time, and it was a little less than a year, yeah. And so she came up to me, she's like, hey, Lezlie, I just want to let you see how well you're doing the business and how much money you made us. And she showed me this paper. She was like, today, this is just your sheet. You made us $16,858.72. And I was like, oh, wow, that's great. And then she walked away and I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, that's all good and dandy, but how come my pay stub says 9,222 year to date? So I was like, something's not right here, so just after that right there, that kind of just stuck with me, and I still stayed and I worked and I was a lead therapist and everything, but it just, with when somebody passes away that you love and that and if I'm going to go pay my respects and go to this funeral, I don't want to have to ask your permission to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like to just be able to let my clients know we need to reschedule, but I shouldn't have to do anything. If I'm not feeling well, I shouldn't have to go run to the urgent care to get you a note to prove that I'm sick. You know what I mean? It's just little things like that year after year just add up, and I know I'm a good person, and I know how to handle my business, and I know what I need to do for my life. So it's just time to cut out that middleman. I've always said that nobody can pay me what I'm worth anyway. I work for God anyhow, so why not just cut out the middleman and do what he sent me out here to do and just let it be me and him.
Exactly. That's wonderful. There's freedom in that. There's freedom. There's freedom in being able to manage your own time, make your own decisions and things like that, right? Yeah. I would say so.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Freedom. I need that,
Yeah. No, that's amazing. No, I hear it all the time, from people that have a regular daytime job, which is very honorable. Definitely want to work. You have to make the money for the household. You have to pay your bills and things like that. But there is that downside. You just, okay, I need to ask you to take a vacation. I need to ask for permission to, like you said, go to a funeral or what have you. It tugs on us, but there is hope. If you have a mindset toward greater, right?
Yeah.
For the greater good of others too. That's the bottom line too. It's not just about money all the time, but it's about, that you have a gift inside of yourself that you can share with others. And if you're stuck, in the office all day long or in the plant or manufacturing facility, you aren't able to express exactly what you're brought here on this earth to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
that kind of leads me into something else. Is all humans deal with this, and it's the imposter syndrome. Like, who am I? Do I have the right to do this? How am I going to do this? How can I do what she's doing? How can he do what he's doing? And why, we all doubt ourselves, but if you want to get out there and take that leap, you have the right to do it too. You are able to do this too. You are blessed with gifts as well. And Tamara, at the same time, it's not for everybody either, and that's something that people really need to take into mind, because if you know, like I know about myself, I'm crazy punctual. I'd rather show up somewhere an hour early and wait than to be 1 minute late. You know what I mean? If you know that, I got good morals, I have good ethics, I like to be punctual, I know what I need to do for my business, I know how to handle my stuff, so it's like, if I can take all those skills of just my personal life and kind of put it into a business, then this might be able to work,
Exactly.
So,
and we call them success habits, right?
Exactly.
There's habits that we have and some habits that we need to develop to ensure that we're going to be successful as entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
I mean, so for example, can you walk me through the steps that you took to get to this point, okay, of ownership? So first of all, tell us how long you've been in business for yourself with Touch of Gold Therapeutics, and tell us what steps it took, even including there's something about, the successes, the failures, if you ever felt like quitting. What kind of success habits did you have along the way in your journey to get to this point?
Okay. The steps I had to take, honestly, when I decided that I was going to go out on my own, I made sure that I left in good standing. You always want to be careful. You don't want to walk on people trying to get up there, because you just might see them on the way back down. I've always believed that, but just to have good morals and good standing with everybody. So of course, I talked to my manager and my boss and, let her know what I was thinking and put in my notice at a great time. And I didn't go and try to poach her clients and try to take everybody with me. You know what I mean? That's just honor, you know what I mean, and good morals and stuff. So I did let everybody know that I was leaving, but I suggested for them to try another therapist, and I hope that you're happy. And if you're not, you can find me. It's the age of technology, you know what I mean? So I wasn't trying to like pass out cards and all that type of stuff. But what I did after I left my very first job that I just told you about, I left there to go to Massage Green. When I was working there, I was lead therapist there out here in Westland. And so I was just leaving my first job just to kind of go somewhere else where I thought I'd be more appreciated, you know, so that was kind of my first step of getting out of there, just to have some more appreciation, a little bit more pay starting off because I knew I was worth more. And I got there, and within 3 weeks, I became lead therapist at that job as well, you know, so I loved it. I loved what I was doing, but it was still like, I can probably do this myself. You know what I mean? They're still taking half my coin. Like,
yep, you messing with my coin.
I need all of it, you know. So I did the same thing there, you know, just let everybody know that I was leaving, but I was lead therapist, so you had to work a certain amount of hours there. So what I did is I took my second bedroom here at my apartment, and I set it up as a beautiful little 1-bedroom spa, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And I started seeing clients here. Yeah, I was getting calls from my very first job, like people that I haven't seen in 5-6 years found me on Google or found me on Facebook and just send me an inbox like, Lezlie, I hope you're still doing massage. I don't know if you remember me, you know? And just all those confirmations that were just coming in like left and right. It's like, now I could take them honestly to my own place and start my own business instead of bringing them here and have to go through that all over again. So I just said, you know what? A touch of gold therapeutics, you know what I mean? So I got my LLC and went and got a business account, and I set up my room here, and then I started having people here. So I was grinding, Tamara. I was working at Massage Green full time. I was doing massages at a gym called The Forum out here. And I was working here out of my home and traveling to people's homes and doing different events. I'm talking about just, it was tough, but that's one of the things of entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? I don't have a spot to just open up. You know what I mean? I have to build my clientele and things like that. So I started seeing people here. And like I would tell Massage Green to book me out a 2-hour lunch, you know what I mean? And I would come here and have a couple clients or a 2-hour client here. And then every time I got a regular client where I knew that they booked out or they wanted to keep making appointments, I would take 2 hours off of my schedule there, you know? So it's like every new client I got, I would take away 2 hours there. Every new client I got, I would take away 2 hours there. So then it went down up under 29 hours that I was there, so I couldn't be lead therapist no more. So I had to give up that position. So that decreased my pay a little bit, you know. So I still just kept on grinding and doing that, coming here, doing massages, going back up there, going to the gym, traveling. Yeah, I'll be there, you know. So I was doing that back and forth, and then I ended up being there for just one day, just working Fridays at my, you know, my other job. And then, so after I got to the point where I really didn't pay attention to that one-day paycheck, and it wasn't, you know, nothing that I had to hurry up and go cash because I needed to pay bills. And I was like, okay, I can make it. I'm floating now, you know, not balling, but just making it.
Yeah.
You know? So, and then after I got to that, I went on and did my official 2-week notice. And I left there, and I, you know, left the gym thing, and I was still doing a little bit of traveling just to compensate if I needed to, but it was just like out of nowhere, you know. I mean, I was just blessed, and it was just like people were just calling. I heard you got your own business. I heard you doing it on your own. I love to come to your house. Of course, I'll come to your home, you know. And you know, I just prayed over the house, and just a year and a half I was doing this at home. Nothing ever happened. No, you know, just things that you think of in the world that could happen with you working out of your home, especially in an industry like this, you know. And it just blossomed, you know. And I just say, yeah, you want to step out there and you want to do what you need to do and go full force, but I'm still a type of person that uses caution as you take my steps, you know. So I'm really glad that I did it like that, just very gradually and stepped on out there, you know. So then I did that and started making my business cards and my rag cards and got a website, and before you knew it, I was all on my own. It's like I just one day was like, I have my own business. I'm in business for myself. Like, can you go somewhere and do this? I'm like, well, let me check with the boss and see if I can.
Exactly.
You know, so
myself. Let me just talk myself.
Let me ask myself real quick. You know, so it's it's just such a peace of mind to know that if you have to change a day around, events happening and something's going on, that you can just move your own days around, block that day off for yourself. It's just, oh, it's awesome. It really is. It's a
so
struggle.
amazing.
Awesome.
Struggle, but awesome. You're basically, I can hear in the way you're describing this process, you're driven by a burning desire to do something, a burning desire. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've read the book Think and Grow Rich. That's one of the popular ones. Big time, written back.
Napoleon Hill.
Good. Napoleon Hill. Yes.
Yes.
And he talks about that burning desire. He talks about definiteness of purpose, and following through. And that is literally what's driving you to do all that you were doing. There's nothing beyond that. So, and you talked about starting off in your own home, having your set up there. You didn't say, I've got to have this major booyah facility, before I can even get started. You said, let me just go. Let me just get started. This is what I want to do. And you gradually worked your way into it. Now, Lezlie, you have a beautiful facility right now, though, right?
I work in a beautiful facility. I rent 2 of the rooms out of there, but the salon itself is beautiful. Yes.
Can you tell me about it? What can we expect to see when we walk into your salon?
Yes, when you walk into the salon, it's called Secret Salon, and it's right here in the heart of Westland. It's on Wayne Road. And so when you first come in, you're just met with an abundance of retail. It's like a woman's dream when you walk in there. It's just shampoos and creams and lotions and all types of things, and they offer manicures and pedicures there. Of course, they do an abundance of hair. They do waxings and facials and everything that a salon usually offers. And I went up there because one of my clients works there. And so, I always try to, patronize everybody's business and patronize my business, So I was like, let me go up here and get waxed real quick and, help her business out. And so I went in there and she was like, we have a spare room that Ann's not renting out right now. She was like, would you be willing? It was the week I said, I want to get a room. I need to leave from my apartment. And just goosebumps, you know what I mean?
Amazing.
It went up there and I was like, it's just a plain room and it's for me to just do whatever I want to do with it. And I already made up my budget that week. And I was like, this is what I can afford if I was to go rent a room from somebody else, because I love doing it out of my home, but I was ready to get my space back. You feel like you're at work 24/7 when you're at home. It's like, I can't cook this because that smell's still going to be here. It's just, that was regulated. And so, so I went in there and I seen the room, and she left a note with the owner of the salon, and she called me back the next day, so she was like, would you like to meet at Panera's and talk? I was like, yes, I'll talk numbers, So went in there and she came in, before we even said anything, she came in $60 under the budget that I was looking for anyway. And Tamara, it is 1 minute from my home. You know what I mean? I'm talking about right down the street. If I don't have a bunch of bags on me, I can walk to work. It's just,
that is a blessing.
Yes. So I did that, and we met up, and we've been together ever since 2 years ago. On February 1st, we started. And then my goal for 2019 was like, she has another room right next to it, so just started going and going and going. And I was like, I know a therapist works in there, but she's only there for like 2 hours a week, you know what I mean? And so I went and talked to the boss or the owner of the salon, and I was like, you may want to just rent this room to me as well, and I'll just allow her to use it. You can compensate me for when she uses the room, So she was like, well, yeah, we can do that. So now I have 2 rooms up there.
Oh my God.
So it's still, and I'm still self-employed, just work by myself, but just being able to have 2 rooms, now I can book my clients 1, 2, 3, take a nice long lunch, and 1, 2, 3, instead of having to have like a 30-minute gap in between each client and stressing yourself out being there all day but having to wait around. I'd rather be there all day and fully booked, So that's how that worked out in that salon there.
That's beautiful. What a great story. And it's like continuously growing. So what do you, because I'm just hearing the progression. Where do you visualize this business going? What is your future outlook for Touch of Gold Therapeutics?
My future outlook is, I get get tingly every time I think about it, because there's a building right off of 275 and Ford Road, and I have been loving on that building for years. I mean, I go up there and sit and eat my lunch and just look at it, sit in the parking lot, I go and rub on it, walk around it, you know what I mean? And just,
Come on.
I just speak into it, you know, and they use it, and it's empty, and it's stupid, like 10, 12,000 square foot. I mean, it's just humongous, you know. So they use it for like a seasonal Halloween store every year, you know. So every time they be in there, I get an attitude like, get up on my spot, get up on my spot.
Because this is mine.
But that's what I see. I see, even if it's not at that location, but that's what I want, you know what I mean? But I see a big, beautiful spa where I have a bunch of wonderful therapists that are just knowledgeable. It can just make people, I want a safe haven for people to be able to come and just drop all of your emotions and physical and mental stress right there, you know, just quiet, just let it go, you know what I mean? I want massages, like I said, and the body wraps and robes and slippers and tea in the cafe, and just, you know, I would like to have a room for people to do yoga and Pilates and just coaching and all types of things, just get away, you know what I mean? I even kind of want a daycare in there, and we don't have that nice and soundproof, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, but that's always something that falters women from being able to come in, like they don't have a babysitter, it's not their day, you know. I mean, if they're a single parent or whatever, you know, I want you to be able to bring that baby with you, and they'll be in there with their own little baby woosah and just chilling on out, you know. So
sounds good to me.
I just want to grow. I just want to help people. You know, I'm not trying to set out to be an Oprah or, you know, big stage or nothing like that. I just want to be a celebrity in my community. That's it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and well, I'm gonna finish here in just a second, but I have to know, what kinds of self-development or personal development books do you read, Lezlie, to keep you going, or spiritual books, or any networks even that you're a part of? Tell us about that, because we can't do this alone, right? You've got to feed yourself with continuous growth. How are you going about doing that?
Okay, well, I read a variety of books. I have Audible, so I listen to books all day. I am a member of Traffic University. I don't know what's on the radio. You know what I mean? I don't even listen to it. As soon as I get in the car, I'm plugging in a podcast or my book or something if I have to take a drive. But one of my main books,
Real Money Answers.
Washington, Real Money Answers by Patrice Washington. I read her book years ago when I was still, you know, doing my thing. I was struggling. I was down a little, you know what I mean, down on money a little bit. And I read her book, and she teaches like basic concepts of managing your money, what you need to do. I mean, from the point of what kind of file cabinet you need to go get, what color folders to go get. I had her book walking through Walmart like, yep, got that, you know, just the way she has you set your things up, just changed my life, changed it, you know what I mean? It was like just the organization, you know, because she always says clutter is a manifestation of chaos in the mind. You know what I mean? That's why I always try to keep things very neat and just so you know what you're thinking about, you know how you're feeling, you know. So like back then, my credit score was probably 445, you know what I mean? And once you get click in that mindset to make you change, I'll never come back down from the 700s and 800s, you know what I mean? So just, you know, it's just, so she was a main person. And actually, speaking of Patrice Washington, one of the communities I'm in, I am one of the Purpose Chasers, which is a complimentary community that anybody can go and join. Just go to IamAPurposeChaser.com and you can get in there. And I'm also in her mastermind, Mastery Mindset and Momentum community. Me and 13 other women are in that, you know, so that's awesome with her. If you want to chuckle and learn some good stuff, Miss Jen Sincero, you're a badass at making money. She has a very quirky personality, but she has a lot of good nuggets in this book, you know. This one right here for your community, y'all might want to pick this one up here. Exposing Financial Abuse by Shannon. She speaks on a lot of emotional things that people go through in the household that you might not see that's going on with your husband or your wife or your children, giving too much, not wanting to give, not wanting to spend money, you know what I mean? Just every single emotion that can go on. And Atomic Habits right here by James Clear. You know, I love his book. This is one great book if you want to change some habits up that aren't suiting you and aren't, you know, helping develop your life. This is a great book to read. Robin Sharma, you know, I love Robin Sharma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brendan Burchard, you know, the motivational and successful life coaches, you know.
Yeah.
I read the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. I try my best to get up at 5 or 6 a.m. every day, you know, just to have that me time to pour into yourself before you open up the world to come in and do whatever they're going to do to you today.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Lezlie, that is amazing. I am so supercharged even right now. I've got some books to add to my list. I thought I had a reading list.
Oh, and the one I'm reading right now, Tamara, I'm sorry, David Osborne, Wealth Can't Wait.
Come on.
That is an awesome book, and I only have like maybe 3 chapters left, but he takes you through it. He really takes you through it.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Do you know, I love reading in such a way that even my mom and I and my sister, we escape from everything and we take reading vacations.
Do you?
We do. We do. We'll take a weekend and we'll go. We stayed and read all weekend. And sometimes I've taken days off just to say, you know what? We're reading all day. So we'll go to the library and we'll just back away from everything we had to do. We'll spend 8 hours at the library.
That sounds so juicy.
I love it. So juicy. Oh my God. I'm telling you.
I love it.
That is it. So I've got
It is something about the library. It just helps you just sit to yourself and think better. You know, if I have a lot of paperwork to do, I'll pack up everything, bills, everything, get my backpack and just go on in the library. You know, find a table, get a bottle of water and just have at it all day.
You feel so productive. You feel so productive. You know?
It is. I love it.
So good. Lezlie, I have so enjoyed this and I want to keep asking you more questions, but I know you don't have
I'm here for you. Do what you want to do.
I want to ask one more. Tell me some lessons you learned along the way. What are some key lessons that you've learned that others may need to hear and grow from? You know, sometimes it's good to hear about others' past, I won't call it, I guess, mistakes or, you know, lessons learned.
Lessons learned, yeah.
We can avoid some of those pitfalls. What did you
Absolutely. You want to follow your rules. You want to follow the legal rules. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to get by you just because you think that you're one single person. You're not a big corporation. Everybody's looking at you too. You know what I mean? Stay insured. Stay up with the legal laws. Stay up with your licensing. Get an accountant. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much money you're making, you know what I mean? When it comes to the IRS looking at your things and you have a business name attached to you now, you have to be on point. You know, I have a great accountant. I want to give her a shout out, Juanita Francis. You know, she's located here in Westland, JFL Diversified Accounting Services, and she's also my tax preparer, you know. So having that accountant to do your quarterly money and have it all on the, like I say, I'm not tech savvy at all. So I write all my things out. I have a certain way that I write all my things out, and I take her my binder and she turns it into a beautiful Excel spreadsheet, you know what I mean? So I keep those things filed. And then at the end of the year, she already knows all my stuff. So then she, you know, does my taxes beautifully, you know. Just keep an accountant. Stay strong. You have to stay strong and you have to stay healthy. You can't think that just because, okay, this is mine now and I can do what I want to do. Once you get that attitude, it's going to crumble. You know what I mean? You still have to, you are still an employee, but you're an employee for yourself now, you know? So if, you know, and keep your word, keep your morals and your ethics in check. That's the main thing. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs that making way more money than me, have way more businesses doing things, but they're kind of shady. They're trying to cut those corners. Takes it right away. You know what I mean? Once your name is tainted, that's a wrap. You know, so you want to just stay that. And like we were talking about the habits, you know, if you know that you're not a person with good habits, you know, start doing some personal development. There's tons of things on YouTube to look at, and just personal development is the key. And if you're a spiritual person, you know, religious or spiritual, whatever, stay in tune with that. You know what I mean? I pray every day. First thing, as soon as I open my eyes. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Woo! a whole new juice 24/7. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Let's go. You know what I mean? So just keep your habits good. Just take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be kind. Keep it real. You know, keep your ethics and morals intact. And I think that's going to take you very far, you know, and just be honest with yourself. Because like we were saying, it's not for everybody. And it doesn't have to be for everybody. The world needs every type of person. We need employees. You know what I mean? If there weren't employees, how can I think about building a business?
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, when I do have employees, I'm going to have their back if they want to go off into the entrepreneurial ship, you know, but at the same time, it's not for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. That's what brought me this far. I love 9-to-5s. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think about it every time, like, dang, nabbit, I'm going back to the hospital. I'm tired of this, you know?
Yeah, I know.
You know, you go back and forth sometimes, but I'm not doing that, you know what I mean? But if I had to, I left in great graces, so I would be able to.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's the whole point, you know? So just be good to others, be good to yourself, keep God first, you know what I mean? And let's go. Let's go.
I love it. I am so excited. This is so invigorating.
Oh,
excellent lesson.
I love it.
Excellent. I am so thankful to you, Lezlie. Thank you again for being here.
You are so welcome. Thank you for inviting me. I am so honored. So honored.
Absolutely. I cannot wait for this to air. And so I just want to thank everybody else for joining us today on episode 1. I'm only upward from here. I mean, look at how excited we got on this episode, full of loaded, great information. So go out and get those books that she recommends. Take note of these wonderful key lessons on success habits that Lezlie just gave us. Loaded. So thanks again for joining us here at the Rise of Black Wealth. We'll see you on the very next episode.
Bye.